no other time when you would be able to balance this. Like sometimes people have an issue in one hip, an imbalance on one side if you're recovering from surgery. So it wouldn't be too far away from the floor, right? It's a safe distance. But this particular movement, right, those internal balancing mechanisms, right, your core, right, and that this is a really good example of core engagement. When we think of abs, it's very superficial. We have a tendency to think very aesthetically in terms of what the body looks like, right? But your form is going to follow your function. So you want to think about the function of the core, right? For example, the gymnast is engaging their core. That's why their girdle and the groups of different core musculature, those different groups, rectus abdominis, internal, external obliques, transverse abdominis, and underneath the multifidus is fire. So that means it's like this. So they're compact, right? And it's also supporting their spine because of the types of movement. What's in the up in the iron cross here, in order for them to balance, this is engaged, fully engaged. So when you're on top of the physio ball or this, you know, that balance board, you have to work your hips. This becomes very important for us to maintain the health of our hips, even though people don't think of the hips. We think of adipose tissue on top of the hips. The hips, this is a joint. This is a joint. This is a joint. But this is an important joint, right? I can't move one without the other. Lumbo-pelvic hip rhythm. As soon as I squeeze my glutes, right? The whole pelvis, if you think of the skeleton, the whole pelvis is moving, right? So this is a lot, but the pelvis doesn't only go like this. It can also go like this. So if you're sitting aside the machines, once again, you can see that you're never going to fire that, right? So my glutes, you go this way, all are super duper important to the health of my back and my core. It's a group of muscles that are working in concert with each other. So it's a different way of thinking. We're making things for convenience and actually kind of lazy. We're still making stuff to sit down, like, you know, like we're in a chair. But that's why when I look at these farmers over here, they're in supreme shape because you have to engage everything. This is why we're getting injured when we go to pick stuff up, because you're not communicating your receptors, your mechanoreceptors. You're not asking your core to fire and your glutes to fire and your legs to fire to pick up and move something. That's not required in our lifestyle, right? So if I had to pick any kind of movement, it would not be a machine. If I have limited range of motion just to get some movement or I'm recovering from injury, then I might choose a machine. Or if I want it aesthetically for a bodybuilding composition just to put on low, but even then I would prefer the real movement because I'm going to engage my core. It's just that you want to do it safely. Additionally, there are many things that you probably might not be able to do, right, with your own inherent strength. You're going to see that with your core. But I can cheat, let's say, for example, with pull-ups, right? But now we can do that also with the rubber band. So we don't like to be dependent on the gym over here because that's kind of not real life. And more, I would say more people than not don't have a gym membership. And most people do New Year's or a fraction of time, and then that's it. Your home is sustainable. This is what you can do consistently over time. But I do like the balance and the hips because when we get a fall or an injury, our quality of life and usually our span of life decreases. You can look that up, right? Usually you see an elder or somebody when they fall, they're like she was never the same, right? Also, when you become inhibited and you can't walk, psychologically you start to feel a bit more inhibited and frail or maybe unsafe, right? So we need the functionality. Run, jump, kick, punch, get down on the floor, get up, get out of harm's way. The fitness has a function. Part of are you out of breath when you need to perform? Period. We don't want to be sitting ducks out here. You want to feel also a sense of confidence. You don't want to go into a revolving door later. You be gagging. You can't push the revolving door or push something out of your way. So we're prioritizing functional fitness as our rationale, right? And if you can organize these things in your brain, again, if your why is big enough, like the other day I couldn't walk. I was like, oh my gosh, on the humble. So, but my mind, I've trained myself to immediately start to think of, what do I have to do to rehab? Ice it, rest, ice, elevation, compression. That's already trained in my mind. Ice it, elevate it, then soothe it, massage it, Then you know I have my balls, I have my percussion massager, so just paying attention to it. Also another reason for safety in your small space, not having a whole bunch of stuff you can trip over. So I cannot believe that I can walk today. This happened to me like several times. The average person, they get an injury, they just stop doing everything. You think Olympic athletes and people do that? Nope. They find ways to work around it. I'm not saying you should work unsafely, but the mindset is I need to work around it. In survival, you see dogs all the time. I see with one leg or whatever, they just keep getting up, no complaints. Because they got to do what they got to do. All right, let's set our heart rate monitors. So, set it for functional training. Let's get this warm-up popping. I'm at 70.
Training started.
So let's see where we are this morning. I'm at 46%, 82 beats per minute. And this week we are going to focus on. Okay, so we have this squat, some of our old school, our old time favorites back in the beginning. So we have that squat side leg lift, right? So the seam of the pants is going parallel to the ceiling, right? So you have squat side leg lift, right? We have 15. We have 10 burpees with a push-up, and then we have a jog in place for 60 seconds, right? To get the heart rate up, get ourselves nice and moving. Ready? Here we go. So open the legs nice and wide. Here we go. So it's 1, sit down parallel to the floor, and 1. 2, using your obliques. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, good, and 15. Lift the knees to the chest. Release your back. Arm circles to the rear. Open up the chest and the shoulders. Cross and then throw it open. Cross and throw. Rotate your torso. Notice if you feel any tightness in your back. Spin your arms back. Reaching for the ceiling.
You are improving fitness.
Good. Quick hip circles. So push your hips all the way to the side wall. Push your forward. Open up the front of the hip joint. Squeeze your glutes to protect your back. Push your hips to the other side. Glutes go on the wall and back of you. Big circles. So I like to put my thumbs right here to make sure when I go back I don't hyperextend. I don't bend back too far. Engaging your core, opposite direction. All right, knees to chest. So here comes our 10 burpees with a push-up. If at any point you need to drop down on your knees with the push-up, that's fine. Take your time. If we are modified, you would place the hands, step back, lay on the floor. Pick your hands up, squeeze shoulder blades together, place the hands down, curl the toes under, step. You can come on the balls of the feet and reach. If you feel a little more energized this morning, you have a baby little jump, right? Barely leaving the floor. I'm on the balls of the feet. Ready? Here we go. So that's 1. This is 2. Nice and easy. 3. Wait a minute. Hold on. I didn't add my push-up. So I'll make this 2. Add the push-up. You can drop your knees if you need to. This is 3. 4. If you need to leave out the push-up, you can leave it up. 5, or drop to your knees. Use your breath. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. our first little jog. So your modification would be just lifting your knees to the chest. Otherwise, you're going to light jog. 4, 3, 2, knees up. So the legs are not to the back, knees up to the front. Nice soft landing. Use your arms to help you get the knees up. So again, modification will be right here. If at any point you feel your heart rate is up too high, you can let it recover. Breathe nice and deep. That's 30 seconds. $20 seconds to go. Last 10, get it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Woo. Little commercial break. So step your right foot forward, reach your hips backwards, reach your fingertips in the direction of the floor, alternate sides so you can get a nice stretch in your hamstrings and the back of the legs. Reach your hips backwards, draw your stomach muscles in, your active recovery. Open the legs a little wide, wider than the hips, a lot wider than the hips. Coming over to one side. If you want to, you can place your hands on the floor. So reach your hips and butt back. This side is getting a stretch. Thigh and glutes working on this side. So see if you can come down to the floor. Feel the stretch on the inner thigh. Center. Opposite side. Center. Good. Center. Side. Feel that stretch. If your heel is coming up, that's just showing you have tightness in your calves. I know I'm tight on one side than the other. One more time, center, over to the opposite side. This is your active stretch. Center, one more time. Over to the opposite side, knees to chest. Whew. Second set. So as much as you can, you're reaching the hips back. If you needed to, you can also let your hips and glutes touch a chair behind you, belly button's drawn in. All the way to the spine. Also draw your lower abdominals in and up. Here we go. This is 1. Sit it down. And 1. Sit it parallel to the floor. 2. 2. See me the pants goes parallel to the ceiling. 3. 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. 6. 6. 7. 7, 8, 8,
You are improving fitness.
9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, good. And 15. Woo. Re-engage belly button to the spine. So you have burpees with the push-up. You can do them full or you can do them kneeling. Take your time, lift the knees to the chest. If your back feels tight at all, so you can release your back. Go for quality movement. Listen to your inhale and your exhale. Take some arm circles back. All right, here we go. Nice and tight. Make sure your midsection does not sag when you go into your burpee, because that will compromise your back. If you're tucking under, you want to land tight package. Right here. Ready? Here we go. This is 1. Feel a little more warmed up. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10. Knees to the chest, getting the body nice and warm. Whew. Take a sip of water if you need to. Where's my water? Did I have my water for myself? Oh, 1 second. You grab my water. You know, we try to knock out 20 ounces in the morning. Light jog in place. Ready? Knees up. So your core is actually helping you to lift the knees up. If you gotta go right here, then you get in where you fit in. Go for 60 seconds. That's 20 seconds. $30 seconds. 40. Last 10, get it up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Woo. So, on that 60 seconds, the last 10 seconds, you strive to get your knees up as high as possible. So that little sprint got my heart rate up to 82%. Lift the knees to the chest. Woo. Let's take an active stretch recovery. All right, so you're going to open the legs wide, sit into your wide squat, bring the hands down, take your elbows. I'm going to try to keep the chest nice and proud, open up, press the knees outward. Little recovery, so the stretch to slight discomfort in the groin area. Extend your arm, try to straighten the elbow out, palm faces the floor, try to get it in alignment if you can. Right over your ears. Feel that nice stretch along the side of the body. Hands in prayer position again. Press the knees open and extend opposite side. You want to feel a stretch down the side of the body. Place your hands on the floor. Straighten the legs out. Grab opposite elbows. Just sway, flow side to side. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Pull your belly button in. Pull your belly button away from your thighs. Again, sit down nice and wide. Hands in prayer position. Press the knees open. Chest is nice and open. Extend the arm. Elbow goes straight. Palm faces the floor. Feel that nice stretch. So this side, the more I press on this side, I'm giving myself resistance so I can intensify the stretch here. Hands back in prayer position. Press the knees open. Opposite side. Stretch it out. Breathe into your stretch. Listen to your inhale and exhale. Notice if one side is tighter than the other. Press the hands into the floor. Good. Drop it down. Good. And straighten. Drop it down. Good. And straighten. Drop it down. Good. And straighten. Bring your feet a little bit closer together. Cross your right foot over the left foot. So you're going to feel a stretch coming up the back, the outside back leg. Whew. So you're going to turn your body in the direction, walk your hands away from that back leg. You're going to feel an intense stretch. Climb all the way up the leg, right to the outside of your hip. That's your IT band. You can even lean your body a little bit into that back leg. You should feel a deep stretch. Untwist. Good. Uncross the feet. Opposite side. So now I'm crossing my left foot over my right. Pull your belly button in. You're going to keep re-engaging your core. So you should feel that stretch travel up the back leg. Pull your belly button away from your thighs. Walk your hands away from that back leg. So you have a little bit of a twist. You can lean your body a little bit towards that back leg. Feel that stretch travel all the way up to right above your hip. Untwist, uncross the legs. Belly button's pulled in, roll up. Head should be the last thing to roll up. Did you feel that nice stretch there? So always looking, the body's nice and warm. Looking to take advantage of stretching when our body is warm. We'll take another set of that side leg lift. So striving to get your hips and glutes parallel to the floor. Here we go. Lift it up. Uh-oh, hold on. Ready, here we go. 1, sit it down. And 1, 2, and 2, 3, and 3, 4, and 4, 5, and 5, 6, and 6, 7, and 7, 8, and 8, 9, and 9, sit down, good, 10, and 10, last 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Woo. Knees to chest, release the back. 10 burpees with a push-up. Nice functional movement. Listen to your inhale and exhale. You want a tight core on your push-up, even if you're kneeling. All right, your hips are tucked under. Squeeze your glutes on your push-up so you can ensure you're giving some support to your lower back. Woo. Ready? Go for quality movement. It's a moving meditation. All right, here we go. This is 1. Reach it up. 2. Reach it up. 3. Reach it up. 4. Reach it up. 5. Reach it up. 6. Reach it up. 7. Reach it up. 8. This is 9. And 10. Whew. Lift the knees to the chest. Release your back. Recover for a second. We have our light jog in place. Good. And go. Knees up. No gym, no problem. Get the knees up a little bit more, even if it's softer. Since the knees come up a little more, you get more core. You even put your 2 fingers in your core and you can feel them engage. Woo. Which is good sometimes to create mind-muscle connection. So I can feel this is engaged. If I don't pick my feet up as much, the engagement is not as much. 20 seconds. Last 10, get it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Dios mío. Woo. Woo. Let's take some Jenga. One functional movement. I'm so grateful to be able to move. The other day, we were working on maybe a couple days ago, and I did that kick. Did not hit. It was like several hours later. I was like, it just out of nowhere swole up, and I couldn't walk. I was like, oh my gosh. So I went into right rest, ice, elevation, compression. But that was like a moment of gag, right? I need my body. I got compost. I got things to do. But in moments like that, it was like, I'm so grateful to be able to move. No complaints. Not from me. Not over here. I can't believe that I'm walking. That's crazy because the impact, because I'm always saying, right, top of your foot is making contact with your target. So man, I thought I was going for the curtain, and I kicked this wooden shelf. I have standing desks here, so I like to create standing desks so my spine is nice and straight. Well, that's exactly, and it hit Bam. So just like getting hit by the car, it took a while for it to kick in. I feel like I needed crutches.
Wow.
Sleep, dramatic. Dramatic. When I laid down, so like universe was like, sit down. Sit down, water, and I just slept for a minute and just recovering. That's it. Massaging, soothing, ice packs, right? The percussion massage, all those tools, taking my foot, putting it on the ball, and rolling it around. Let me wipe this face off. All right, so we're going to take our Jenga, re-engage your core before we do everything. We're re-engaging the core, pelvis is tucked under, belly button to the spine. Here we go, Jenga. Jenga, so start to think that person is kicking over your head. You're looking, Jenga, you're looking at your target, right? You don't know if they have razor blades in their toes. You don't know if the overseer is coming, which is so real. Jenga, they had outlawed capoeira at one time, and they didn't want slaves training themselves. Jenga, cocarina, somebody's kicking you. Get down. So eventually from here, imagine somebody's kicking you on the floor. That foot, that hand would help you to get up. Jenga, so part of it is learning how to fall. Jenga, cocarina. Watch that kick. Good, cocarina. They're kicking you again. Good, Jenga. One hand guards the face. Jenga, but I can still see. Jenga. Go right, so you're back. Bensao. And go right back down. Yes, good, Jenga.
You are moving fitness.
Jenga. Stay back. Bensao. Yes, Jenga. You're on the line and flow. You're still dodging that kick. Somebody's kicking right overhead. You want to keep your eye on them because you don't know what they're going to do next. It's human chest. Good, Jenga to the line. Cashapp. Jenga to the line. Cashapp. Good, Jenga, cocarina. Good, Bensao. Go right back. Good, Jenga, and flow. Side to side. Get out of the way of that kick. Side to side. So, same side to side. See if you can get your hand, go a little slow. See if you can get your hand down to the floor. Get out of the way. Big kick. So you see that stretch where it comes into play? Pushing off my hand gently. Opposite side, get out of the way. Opposite side, get out of the way. Good, and flow. Opposite side, watch your target. Come right back up into Jenga. And Jenga. Good, nice. So you see all the movement patterns have a purpose. External hip rotation, we're going to have nice, healthy hips. You can't have healthy hips without engaging your core and your glutes. External hip rotation. So sometimes I put the foam roller or I'll put the little box. Make sure you're breathing. So we're taking external, internal. Hands up. Elbows by. Here we go. 1 and 1. 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. 5 and 5. 6. Elbow guard your body. 7. Good. 7. 8. 9. Good. 9. 10. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Good. And 15. Side kick using your obliques, glute medius, right? So you can extend your arm. Your body should be nice and hot, yes? So just think, if you're in a real fight, like usually when you're learning the skill, it feels like we have to think. But if you're in a real fight, you're going to be using everything. Your body is just going to flow. Just like when you're walking, you don't think about your arms flowing. We're trying to get a new skill, then sometimes you feel like we're dyslexic. But what you're fighting, I bet you're going to be all the way down on that floor. What you already cued yourself for, you would automatically go down, you come right back up. Right? Because you already did the role play already. Side kick. Here we go. Use your breath. 1, 2 with control. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Whew. Hold on, I'm pouring with sweat over here. External, internal rotation, opposite side. We're using the core, glutes, cardio, everything. Dynamic flexibility or moving flexibility and mobility all in one. Here we go. 1, good, and 1. 2, and 2. 3, good. And 3, 4, and 4. 5, and 5. 6, and 6. 7, and 7. 8, and 8. 9, and 9. 10, and 10. 11, 11. 12, 12. 13, 13. 14, 14. 15, good, and 15. Side kick using glute medius and your core. Here we go. So, I don't know if you noticed, I can feel a big difference from the beginning of the year, my body's ability to hold my leg up and kick. Do you feel your leg can go up a lot higher? Yeah, I can see a distinct difference. So sometimes those things you can't see when you're struggling initially. Every quarter, every 3 months, you should be able to see like a blip on the screen, right? Also, you're still also working balance here, right? Because you're on one leg, right? So the ability to get control, remember, 3-4 sets, 25, 30 reps, right? You should see, and you're able to do that consistently, you should see like a big difference. All right, here we go.
Right. Move over a little more. Yeah.
Thank you, right? I'm not trying to go through that again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Lift the knees to the chest. Let's take a quick stretch on the hips. Woo. Nice and hot?
Yeah.
Let's open up those hips. So here's my standing leg. Take the opposite foot. Oh, I'm sweating. Cross it over that knee. Belly button's pulled in. Reach your hips back. Sit, let the knee spill open to the side. Feel the stretch around the hips. Belly button's drawn in. Good, and stand with control. Stand all the way up. Squeeze the glute on the standing leg. Good again. Cross. Much better balance. Sit it down. Let that knee spill open to the side. You feel that stretch? Around that hip. Good. Stand. Squeeze the glute. Good again. Cross it over. Sit back. Let that knee spill open to the side. Good. And stand. Shake it out. Much better. Excellent. Standing leg. Crossing the opposite foot over the knee. Belly button's pulled in. So you're going to notice if one side is tighter than the other. This side of me feels much tighter. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Letting that knee spill open and stand. Woo. Stand all the way up so the hip joint opens. Squeeze the glute. Again, cross it over. Sit back. Let that knee open out to the side. Feel that stretch around your glutes. Ooh. Stand. Yeah. One more time. Belly button's drawn in. Cross it over. Sit down. Good, and stand. Just quick tick-tocking of the head, gently side to side. Drop your head side to side. Head and neck. Good, look over opposite shoulders. Curl the chin into your chest and look backwards. Good, gentle rolls to your left. Opposite direction. Good, big shoulder rolls back. Hands 90 degrees. So shoulder mobility, bring the hands and the elbows all the way together. They touch. Good, open it all the way up. So they come together, open it up. Open it as wide as you can so you feel the stretch across the chest. They come together and open. 4, 3, 2. Good, and 1. Keep the palms and elbows together. Press the hands up till you can't keep them together anymore. Then make a circle around, down. Elbows come together, hands, press it up, and open it around. Shoulder mobility, and bring it around. Last 4, 3, 2. Good, and 1. Good, so rotator cuff. So you're right here, not moving at the wrist, moving from the shoulder. Take it down, good, and up. Then down and up. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Arms, shake it out for a second. Arms outstretched, shoulder height. Turn the palms all the way up to the pinky is really turn the opposite direction. Good, external rotation and internal rotation. Turn it all the way opposite. Good. Keep the hands at shoulder height. Good, this is 2, 3, the little muscles. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh, that's burn. Let's get a sip of water. So officially warm. Let's get into some strength training.